Alright, this is where I'm at so far. I soldered all the hard stuff to solder on first, like this micro SD card slot. That was kind of a pain. That was a learning experience, and these little things weren't that bad, and all the other stuff wasn't that bad. This ain't showing up too great on the camera. But yeah, kind of difficult to solder this little stuff by hand, and because what I have here is this is a stencil for all the spots that need solder. And what you do is you take the stencil and put it over the board, and then you use this let me grab it. This is a solder paste, and you take the solder paste and you put it on the stencil and you squeegee it through the stencil, so you only put the solder where it needs to go, and then you put all the little pieces on there. And I tried to use my hot air gun to solder it, and it just didn't work worth a crap. So I need to finish up. So if I'm going to like produce more than one of these, I'm going to have to use my this is what I'm making a solder oven out of. But I'm going to control the temperature with a microcontroller, which I've already got made. I just haven't quite finished it. This is it. Here, let me plug it in. Where's my plug-in at? I've got it almost done. I just haven't finished it. Come on. What the hell? I gotta use my feet too. There we go. Alright, so this is plugged in. So this is where I'm at so far on this. So this is my controller, touchscreen control setup for the solder oven. This is a high temperature probe. So if I set this down to just a minute, so that's the temperature. It's in centigrade, so 25 is about 77 degrees Fahrenheit. So if I touch it, I got it fixed now to where it's going to go up. Changed the numbers a little too quick. I might have to adjust that, but so yeah, that's so I got the temperature thing working right. I got the timer fixed. I don't know if you've seen my previous video on this. And then I got the beeper fixed. The only thing I haven't finished on this to get the, because it's just going to control this relay, and this relay is going to control the 120 volt AC line from there. But the only thing I haven't got fixed, written in the code is, see there, the beeper's not nice and loud now. Okay, turn off. There we go. But yeah, the only thing I haven't got set up in this code yet is how to, you know, when you turn the power on to the oven, it's gonna ramp up the temperature, and like say you cut the power off completely, it's still going to, because of convection, the temperature is going to continue to rise for a certain amount of time. And then if I put, you know, the power on for a certain amount of time and off for a certain amount of time, you know, like on for half a second, off for half a second, you know, that'll change it. So that I gotta basically figure out how the temperature raises and lowers compared to what power I'm putting to it, and so I can like make a formula to control the temperature and make it not just ramp way over where it's supposed to go and stuff like that. So basically, that's all I gotta do for my soldering oven is figure out it's called a PID. I forget what that stands for, but it's basically a temperature controller formula to make everything, you know, because the temperature is going to ramp up in a curve. It's not going to be straight linear. It's going to have a curve to it. So you got to find that curve, and then the temperature is going to fall off in a curve also. You got to find that curve so you know how to regulate the temperature accurately without going over what you want and stuff. So whenever I get this finished, then I can just use a stencil, squeegee on the solder paste, stick all the little components in their place, and just stick it in the soldering oven and let it do its thing, you know. But this one I tried to I stenciled on the solder, and then I tried to use that my hot air gun, and man, it just didn't. It's almost like it didn't get it hot enough, and it was. So I had to go back over with a regular soldering iron, back over everything. It was a big pain in the butt, and then I was having problems getting this SD card slot on straight, and I just had to. I've never done one of those, so I had to learn how the little tricks about it. But I got it all together now. So if I take this SD card. Yeah. It's a problem with cameras. You always got to do everything with one hand. Let's see if I can get in there. Okay, there we go. So it sticks out. It's right level, so I've made it just perfect, really. Designed it perfect. That's pretty good. Could have came out to the edge just a hair more, but that's pretty good right there. In all reality, you're not going to take that out because you can send the files over Wi-Fi to the SD card, so you really ain't even got to take the SD card out for nothing. So this project coming along. Got the hard stuff soldered. So I might have it up and running, my CNC machine here in a couple days. But the thing is, I didn't put on any of this stuff for the limit switches. See, this for that CNC machine is going to have the limit switches for each axis, and I'm working on building a digital oscilloscope to watch the signal when a limit switch is switched and make sure my my button debounce circuit is working the best it can. You know, I want to test my button debounce circuits and make sure I'm using the right value capacitors and resistors and stuff to make it really work good, you know. And to do that, I've got a super fast 40 megahertz analog to digital converter, and I just finally got in my my high-speed op amps for buffering to that high-speed ADC, and I'm basically just going to make a digital oscilloscope that'll give me a snapshot, a high-speed snapshot of the button being switched, and make sure it's doesn't have a bunch of noise in it, because I got this analog oscilloscope. It works really good, but it doesn't take a snapshot, so you don't know how much you're missing. So make a digital one out of the ADCs that I bought. So this is an update on where I'm at with these CNC control boards, and yeah, I made a mistake on the control boards, and I might have to have them redesigned and remade, even though I got a bunch of them. So and the mistake was I was going to make a prototype board myself from scratch, but it just looked too complex, and I ended up just ordering the boards, and I forgot to change the hole sizes back to what they need to be, because I had them changed to something smaller because of the way I would have made my own custom ones, and then I forgot to change them back before I order them. So these are they're like 0.1 or 0.2 millimeter too big to fit in these holes. So I gotta take a Dremel tool and just take a little off the edge so they'll fit in the holes. And so I'll have these on a whole row of these connectors on that side and that side. And so yeah, it's getting there. I'm figuring everything out and all that. So my next video will be running my CNC machine. Later.